So welcome back to Eddie, and welcome to Chair Representative Ryan Yamane. Thank you for joining us today. This question is for both of you. So what is the biggest challenge with the vaccine rollout from your point of view?
Okay. For us, it's making sure that we have accurate information going out to the community. We are asking the community to have patience and know that no vaccine is being wasted, being accounted for. They're taking diligence and not only preparing that whoever comes to get it gets it in a safe and as quickly as possible, but also that they're taking the time and effort to make sure that your information is protected and that the process is as smoothly as possible. So, from what I've seen as working these various pods, is that the people are very committed in making sure that we treat everybody that comes in with the utmost respect, and we understand that it does take time. Unfortunately, there's lines, and then also that we monitor you once you get it for 15 minutes. But to let everybody know that if you want a shot, that we will get you one. Just the issue is supply and the time. So we just ask as the volunteers that are helping hundreds and thousands of people go through this process is that please have patience, come in early, please be prepared that it's going to take some time at times because the vaccinations do need to sometimes be thawed, as well as we rotate the nursing and the nursing staff that vaccinate. And so there are times where it can happen quicker and others take a little bit longer. But know that the goal of the Department of Health and all these partners and us volunteers is that we want to make sure we get you in quickly and safely.
So you kind of hit it right on the nail about how it's a long process and it's very detailed oriented. Eddie, if I can turn to you, Chair Yamane spoke to it, but the challenge of supply. Can you speak about that challenge of supply?
Yeah, thank you. I was going to that's actually at the top of my list in terms of challenges, is never really knowing on a week-to-week basis exactly how many doses we're going to be allocated. So we, at the DOH, we have this system that we go into, and every week we have to go in and check how many doses have been allocated to the state of Hawaii, and then we order those vaccinations. And then we kind of use that to look at where we're going to go. The other thing is if I could just give one kind of piece of information too, is that at this point, 4 weeks into our vaccination effort, we're now in the place where we also have to consider the second dose because, so for example, if we got 20,000 doses allocated to us for this week, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 to 8,000 of those doses probably would have to be allocated, and we have to kind of account for the second dose that we need to give for folks that are going to be coming back. And so that's the day-to-day or week-to-week kind of looking at where those are at is really takes a lot of effort to kind of plan and make sure that we're not missing anything. And that's where I think it would be wonderful, and I have a lot of hope with the new administration, but it'd be really wonderful if we could get just a much larger bulk of vaccinations come to us. That way we know kind of what we have, can not have to do this week-to-week planning. Another challenge that I would just throw out there too is the data piece. There's a national system called VAMS, which is the registry that CDC uses, and that's what they focus on to count vaccinations and to see how what states are doing and stuff like that. The issue that I have with that is that there's generally at least a 2 to 4 day lag in the amount of vaccinations that are done to what's actually reported and posted on the website. And that's not all CDC's fault. Some of that is that it takes it takes all of the different vaccination pods a little bit of time to enter all that data. And so that's why sometimes the numbers will look off, and it gets confusing to folks. And then I think the one other challenge for me personally is not having, again, going back to that idea of it's great that we have more demand than supply, and yet it's also frustrating on my end personally because we have had people show up to our vaccination site at Windward, for example, that really just don't meet the criteria to get a vaccination. We've had a couple of college students, for example, come to the site, and while our goal is to vaccinate everybody in the state, we've had to kind of turn those folks away and let them know they have to wait. And so that's hard to do, but we have to do it.
So there is this great demand, and I want to share an anecdotal story with you. So my husband went to get his hair cut the other day. He's a nurse. He's one of the fortunate frontline workers who got actually his second dose already. But it was amazing because in this place full of strangers, the only thing on people's minds was vaccines. And there were just so many questions. How do I sign up? Where do I go? If there were the top 2 or 3 things you would tell residents about what they should do as they wait for their vaccination date, what would be 2 or the 3 top things that you would share with them? I'll defer first to Chair Yamane and then go to Eddie.
So, I would remind them that we're still in a pandemic. So, getting the vaccinations 1 and 2 shots, you're still going to be required to follow all the rules regarding wearing masks and social distancing. We also want people to realize is that, share their positive experiences with us, explain to people that, yes, it is a vaccine. So I know some people are fearful of that, but it's like the flu shot. What we're trying to do is we're not only doing it to protect our health, but it's there to protect our family and our friends and the community. So if everybody, moves through that direction and we get herd immunity, then we as a community can actually recover and bounce back quicker. I know people get anxious. They've been trying to either call or sign up with HBH or Queens or their various providers, and we understand sometimes that's frustrating. But to understand that there are people out, everybody wants to get one right now. It's quite popular, so it's a good thing. And then when you do get it, just remember to wait the full 28 days, and then set that up for the second one. And make sure you follow through with the second one because these vaccines are so precious, right? And it's so needed.
So Eddie, what from the Department of Health standpoint, what are the top 2 or 3 things that residents should do as they wait?
First and foremost, when in doubt, go to the website, hawaiicovid19.com. That's the website where you can find all of the information. We're continuously updating that website with the latest and greatest information that we have. And it's where you could probably get the answers to a lot of the questions that you have. Also, talk to your doctors, talk to your primary care physicians. If you have questions about the vaccine, for example, and whether or not you should get it, talk to your primary care providers and have those discussions with them. And then if all else fails, especially for our kupuna who may not have access to the internet or be able to get on the website and stuff like that, just call the Department of Health's main line, 586-4400, and we can try to answer the questions that you have. What I would say is, and I also want to just piggyback on what Chair Yamane said. I think he makes an excellent point, is that at this point, just because people get the vaccine doesn't mean they should stop worrying about the other precautions that are in place. We're not at the point yet where we can release or relieve any of those or relax any of those precautions. But I also really want to thank the public for your enthusiasm in getting the vaccine. Again, this is a good thing. It's good that we're all wanting to get the vaccine, and it's good that we're all rushing and trying to find a way to do it. But I think, as Chair Yamane said, I think patience is where it's at right now, understanding that we do have a limited supply, and that while our goal is to vaccinate everybody as quickly and as efficiently as we possibly can, we do have those supply constraints. And I think that the idea is to just continue to talk with each other to try to find out information, continue to talk with us, continue to let us know how we can help increase access for folks for the vaccine. And Director Char, who I feel really grateful is at the helm of Department of Health now, will continue to push us in the direction that we need to go.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for joining us.